My name's Chantal, and this is my very first YouTube video. I wanted to start making YouTube videos as I try to start to transition into a semi-nomadic van life. This is my first day trip doing by myself. And by myself, I mean without my two teenage sons, who are generally my travel partners. We've traveled across Canada and across the US together. But now they're getting older. One of my sons is graduating high school this year. The next will graduate next year. And they just don't want to go traveling with their mom anymore. So kind of going through the hardest breakup ever, where I have to go out on my own and start doing these travels by myself. Just me and my partner. Charles, come here. So this is what I plan on traveling in. This is my 2019 Dodge Grand Caravan. I do intend to turn it into a camper van. Right now, just for this day trip, I have my cooler. I have a chair, some chairs, some food. I have my luggable loo because I didn't know what the bathroom facilities were going to be like. And I just did a little road trip that's about 2 hours outside of where I live in Northern Ontario. I'm in Lake Superior Provincial Park right now at Aloha Bay. It is gorgeous here. It's just beautiful. Check it out. So I decided to pull off into a little rest stop here. This is Chippewa Falls. It's about midway point of the Trans-Canada Highway, which runs from the east coast to the west coast of Canada. This is about 45 minutes away from my home. And it's a good spot just to get out, stretch your legs, let Charles go for a little pee, and check out the beautiful falls. So this place that we're walking to is called Catherine's Cove. But in Catherine's Cove, there's a little hidden gem down the trail on the side of the highway that takes you to Bathtub Island. Now, Bathtub Island is a pretty unique place. It's in the middle of Lake Superior, but there's a natural sandbar between the island and the shore that you're able to walk through to get to the island. Now it's called Bathtub Island because there's a natural depression in the rock that water sits in, and it gets heated from the sun and turns up bathtub water warm. And it's Bathtub Island. Just by the guardrails, you'll come to a trail entrance that's marked by this big black flat rock this is the entrance or the trail you gotta take to get to Bathtub Island. Okay, once you hit the end of the trail, you'll see the beautiful sight of white powdery sand and crystal blue waters. So I don't know if I'm brave enough today to walk the sandbank to get to Bathtub Island. I can tell that the water is fairly shallow from here. And I do have kind of shorter pants on that I can hike them up. So we'll see when we get closer to the island. This is probably the calmest that Lake Superior gets. Usually in the summer, the winds are quite strong and the waves are high. This is a good day to go to Bathtub Island. So generally this would be the point where you can walk across and get to the island. It's best to wear water shoes when going to the island because the rocks, when you get over there, are very slippery. I'm gonna be brave, guys. I'm gonna walk out a little bit and see how shallow it is. Now this is April in Lake Superior. This water is going to be ice cold. Whew. Definitely ice cold. Come on, Charles. So far so good. It's just about up to my shins. Come on, Charles. Come on. Come on. Charles is a little hesitant to get in the water. Come on. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Come on. If it gets any deeper than this, I'll have to turn around, but so far so good. Oh guys, can't feel my feet. My pants are getting wet. Woo! This is deceptively deep here. Come on the island. This is what I mean about the depression in the rock. It's calm like a bathtub. And the water's a lot warmer. I'm gonna bask on this smooth rock in the sun for a while and let my legs warm up. They're very red. Charles is gonna be a wet puppy on the way home. He's trying to dry himself off on me. He did a good job. So while we're sitting here, I might as well talk about why I'm going to try to start van life and why semi-nomadic van life. So ever since I can remember, I've always been a wanderer. If I have to stay in one place for too long, I kind of get antsy. And when I got married and my children were born, I kind of filled that void by going on a couple trips a year to get that antsiness out. But I found lately, especially now with my children getting older and them not always wanting to go on trips with me, that I need a little more. I came across a YouTube channel called Van City Van Life. Shout out to Chrome and Cruz. And everything that he says is exactly what I want for my life. The freedom to go where I want, whenever I want. Not having to stay in the same place all the time. And I figured if he can do it, I could do it too. So I had already had my minivan. I had purchased it before I even thought of van life. And now I'm going to use that to kind of pursue my dream. Now the reason why I'm going to be semi-nomadic is I am married. I have a husband, but he doesn't want to live the same kind of van life that I do. So I figured he would stay home and hold down the fort, and I would just take off for a month or two at a time and then come back. I live in Northern Ontario, and our summers in Northern Ontario are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look where I am right now. This is in pretty much my backyard, all within an hour and a half or so of my house. And in the summertime, I like to camp with the rest of my family, my parents, my brother, my sister, and my nieces and nephews. So I would mainly be home for the summers and take off a little bit in the winters. People think I'm crazy, wondering why you would ever want to live in such a small space like a van and travel around Canada and the US by yourself, but I don't mind living in a small space like a van, because I don't consider the van a small space because I have the freedom to go wherever I want, whenever I want. Like if I feel like being by the lake, I can be by the lake. If I feel like being in the middle of the bush, I can be in the middle of the bush. I value freedom over space. So I know COVID-19 has put a rock in a lot of travelers' plans. I currently live in Ontario, where we're under a stay-at-home order. We are only allowed to stay within our district, and we are not allowed to have any overnight camping in campgrounds or on Crown land. So until the end of May at least, I will have to just do these day trips to keep on getting familiar with traveling around in my van. And then hopefully as soon as camping opens up, I would like to check out some iOverlander sites. Okay, I'm trying to hype myself up for the walk back across. You can kind of see my shoes, but right there, this seems to be a pretty shallow point. So I'm going to get in this freezing cold water again and walk back to shore. Oh, it's cold, baby. Very cold. Look how clear it is, though. You can see my foot. Charles is getting his way back to shore, being a good little swimmer. Look at that beautiful white sand. And I can't feel my toes again. We're almost back to shore. I can see my shoes. Charles can almost touch. And we're back. So I decided to pull over to this scenic lookout and test out my new stove and make myself some supper. I'll show you why I chose this. Check out this view. Isn't this an incredible view of Lake Superior? Time to make some food. So I bought this little stove off of Facebook. It runs on butane. So I figured I'd go ahead and make myself some grilled cheese. Well, the stove was a bust. Serves me right for buying a used stove on Facebook. I was able to get it lit, but then, so the flame would come out of the burner a bit, and then it starts spitting out the side. So luckily I shut it off before the flame went any further. So it looks like instead of grilled cheese, I'm just gonna have some plain old cheese sandwiches for supper. Well, me and Charles are gonna finish our suppers, enjoying this gorgeous view of Lake Superior. And then I'm just going to drive home. So I'm going to end the video here. Thank you guys for coming to my first YouTube video. Hopefully there will be more van adventures in the future, COVID pending. Usually in August I do a cross-country trip. This year I was planning on going to Prince Edward Island to see my grandmother. God willing that I'm able to do that, because I haven't been able to go see her since 2019 because of COVID last year. So fingers crossed that I'll be able to get to the island this year, and otherwise come join me on my adventures. See you guys.